Oh, folks, hello, and welcome to I Love Baltimore Personal Tours. I was looking forward to seeing you. Let me see your tickets, please. All right, folks. Throughout the tour, you're going to see several of our historical locations that were here and no longer was here. And this is the Inner Harbor in the late 1800s. This was always a ship porting area here. And our very fine Mayor Schaefer came up with the idea of turning our port area into an attraction area for families to come. Starting with our National Aquarium, the Maryland Science Center, and then bringing one of Maryland's finest restaurants, the Phillips Seafood Restaurant. So let's start the tour by playing programming and then me interjecting throughout, telling you more about my lifestyle or my life down here in the Baltimore area. Let's go. Inner Harbor was once home to industrial uses and warehouses. It is home to several attractions: the National Aquarium, Maryland Science Center, and several historical ships. So we're in our downtown area at the Inner Harbor Center, which is shopping destinations. Here's the Gallery Mall, the Renaissance Hotel. To the right is our World Trade Center. 9/11 Memorial, the steel beams in front. The power plant was an actual power plant that burnt black coal to generate electricity for our streetcar systems. People are out and about today. We love it here in Baltimore. We love being around the water. It's a beautiful fall day. We'll be going through several historical neighborhoods. Baltimore has over 200 different neighborhoods in it, and today you will see about 10 and several historical monuments and murals. We're crossing over into one of our neighborhoods now. Jonestown neighborhood to the left began as an independent town separate from Baltimore, founded in 1732. It has several museums like the Reginald Lewis Museum of African American History and Culture, as well as our National Flag House Museum, where Murray Pickersgill sold our national flag that flew over Fort McHenry during the Battle of 1814. Baltimore had the second largest immigrant port to Ellis Island in New York. In the early 1900s, the city was segregated by different nationalities who created Baltimore neighborhoods. Polish and Greeks to the southeast, Germans to the northeast, Jewish families to the northwest, black families to the northwest, and the Irish who helped build the railroad to the southwest. Now folks, we're in the direction of southeast Baltimore, and this historical location of Fells Point is where Frederick Douglass, one of our famous speakers, he was enslaved here as a boy, escaped slavery, came back years later and built 4 row homes in this neighborhood, as well as one of our famous African American entertainers, Billie Holiday, lived here as a young girl, but she started her career and then went to New York and became very famous. So they lived in this Fells Point area. This area was a very poor neighborhood at one time, and also Greeks and Polish families lived throughout this neighborhood, and they worked around the shipyard. In front of us is one of the largest signs, neon signs in America, the Domino Sugar sign. Domino Sugar is one of the oldest sugar manufacturing companies in America that's still operating today. into one of our newest neighborhoods, Harbor Point, to give you a panoramic view of the inner harbor. This particular neighborhood was just established about 2 years ago. It's a mixed use of commercial, residential, as well as small dining areas. Buildings here are part of the Frederick Douglass Isaac Myers Maritime Museum. On the second floor of this location is where they have artifacts of Frederick Douglass as well as Isaac Myers, noted as one of the richest men in the 1800s, black men, I'm sorry, in the 1800s in Baltimore. Fells Point, a National Historical District, is named after William Fell. It was a shipyard built in 1730. The famous Baltimore Clipper was built there, as well as some of our Navy ships were commissioned from there. And this is historical Fells Point, and we're coming up on Broadway, which William Fell, who owned this land and was building ships here, his grandson started Broadway Market, one of Baltimore's famous historical markets, public markets. Ladies and gentlemen, they call this Upper Fells Point, and it's where a growing Latino families have migrated in the last 40 years. So a lot of storefronts in this area is in Spanish. So this is Upper Fells Point. And we're about to go into our next neighborhood. The Hill. Washington Hill was named after Washington Medical College, established in 1833. Later it was changed to Church Home Hospital. To the left, the famous writer Edgar Allan Poe was pronounced dead at the hospital. Shot Tower, St. Vincent de Paul Church. The shot tower on the left was the tallest structure in early 1800. It was used to make buckshot for shotguns used in hunting expeditions. To the right, St. Vincent de Paul Roman Catholic Church, oldest Catholic parish, continues use in America, opened its doors in 1841. War Memorial Building was built in honor of 1,700 Marylanders who served in World War I, World War II, Korean conflict, and Vietnam War. Our City Hall to the left began in 1867, not long after the Civil War. Mount Vernon, a National Register Historic District, is the city culture's landmark. Mount Vernon is home to the Walters Art Gallery, Maryland Historical Society, Peabody Musical Institute. To the left, the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, also called the Baltimore Basilica, was the first Roman Catholic cathedral built in the United States and was among the first major religious buildings constructed in the nation after the adoption of the U.S. Constitution. One of the games I play, ladies and gentlemen, when I get to this point is the Royal Farms Arena in front of us. What you think Royal Farms is famous for? Why don't you take a look and give me a quick guess? Royal Farms is a Baltimore business that was established here, and they're famous for their chicken. And if one of my drivers were on here, he would say, they also famous for their fries too. They got good fries too. That chicken is addictive. You eat a piece, you will keep going back. Royal Farms chicken. Now we're down in our culture and entertainment district. This is the light rail train. Let's see if we can see a train coming. This is the light rail. Light rail, we have a subway train as well as mass transit buses. We have world famous Lexington Market down here that's being remodeled, a new hotel, Hippodrome Theater. We have several attractions in this area. One of the most famous attractions in the next block will be the Edgar Allan Poe gravesite, which every year during his birthday, someone places a rose and a bottle of wine for someone else to drink. So let me show you his gravestone. Pigtown, due to the historic marching of the pigs from the trains on Washington Boulevard to the local slaughterhouses. Every September there is an annual festival called the Running of the Pigs without the slaughter party. Raiders play and Camden Yards to the left, where someday soon World Series champion Baltimore Orioles play. Fort McHenry is a national monument and historical shrine. It is best known for its role in War of 1812 when it successfully defended Baltimore's harbor. It was first built in 1798 and was used by U.S. forces through World War I and by the Coast Guard in World War II. Folks, coming up on Federal Hill, and this is the American Visionary Arts Museum. Oh, say can you see? This museum houses folk art. It's a must-visit place, and we're coming up on the actual Federal Hill, where Baltimoreans was looking out as the battle was raging over at Fort McHenry. This hill was also a Confederate fort during the Civil War. This community is called Federal Hill. Federal Hill is home to Cross Street Market, one of the city's 6 oldest public markets. And I built in 1846. Federal Hill was once a lookout point during the Civil War, and now a public park with great skyline views of the Inner Harbor. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for choosing I Love Baltimore Personal Tours. Be safe, grab your hands here, handle here, safety stool. I look forward to seeing you and your friends at another time. Think of things to explore the next time you come to Baltimore. We'll be here waiting for you. Thank you.